Welcome back to Narrations, where we bring unforgettable movies to life through detailed retellings. Tonight, we're stepping into a quiet suburban neighborhood where everything looks picture perfect, until the walls of a family home become the gateway to a nightmare. This is Poltergeist, released in 1982. The Freeling family lives in a new, sunny housing development in California. Steve, the father, sells homes in the very community they live in. Diane, the mother, is warm and lively, balancing her kids' chaos with affection. Their oldest daughter Dana is a teenager, Robbie is about 8, and the youngest, Carol Ann, is just 5 years old, curious and wide-eyed. One night, strange events begin in the middle of their living room. Carol Ann sits in front of the static-filled television. She seems to hear voices in the white noise. When her mother finds her chatting with the screen, Carol Ann calmly says, "They're here." At first, the disturbances are subtle, glasses sliding across tables, chairs moving on their own. Diane even experiments, placing a chair on the kitchen floor and watching in astonishment as invisible forces drag it across the room. At first it seems playful, like the house itself is alive. But the mood quickly shifts from wonder to dread. One night, as a thunderstorm rolls in, Robbie's clown doll seems to come alive, and the tree outside his window bends unnaturally toward him. Suddenly, the branches smash through the glass and pull Robbie from his bed. Steve races outside to save his son, struggling to free him from the tree's grasp. Just as he succeeds, another horror unfolds inside. Carol Ann is sucked into a supernatural vortex within the closet. When the family rushes to her room, she's gone, vanished without a trace. Her voice echoes faintly from the television, calling out from the static. The Freelings are desperate. They contact a group of parapsychologists from a nearby university. Dr. Lesh, along with her team, sets up equipment in the house. They're stunned as objects fly across the room, lights flash, and shadows move. For all their academic training, nothing could have prepared them for the reality of the Freelings' home. The researchers confirm the presence of poltergeists, restless spirits bound to the house. But Carol Ann's abduction reveals something far more sinister. These spirits aren't just passing through, they're drawn to her life force. The Freelings' haunting escalates. Furniture flips, doors slam, and otherworldly hands reach from the walls. The closet in Carol Ann's room has become a portal to another dimension. Diane, torn between terror and determination, insists she can still feel her daughter's presence. With the situation spiraling out of control, Dr. Lesh admits this case is beyond her team. She calls for someone extraordinary, Tangina Barons, a spiritual medium unlike anyone the family has met. Tangina arrives with quiet confidence. She explains the truth: the spirits are trapped in a liminal state, lost and confused. They see Carol Ann as a guiding light, but a darker presence, what Tangina calls the beast, is holding them back. Its purpose is to use Carol Ann as bait to control the others. A dangerous plan is set. Diane must venture into the portal herself, tethered by a rope, to bring Carol Ann back. Steve is hesitant, but Tangina insists Diane is the only one who can reach her. The living room transforms into a battlefield of energy. Steve and the researchers hold the rope as Diane steps into the closet. She's pulled through a swirling void, reaching for her daughter. Outside, the house trembles with the force of the spirits. Finally, Diane emerges from the portal, holding Carol Ann in her arms. The two are covered in ectoplasmic residue but alive. Tangina triumphantly declares, "This house is clean." The Freelings believe the nightmare is over. They decide to leave the house for good, packing up to move. But evil doesn't let go so easily. On their last night, Steve is away, and Diane is left with the children. Suddenly, the house erupts with violence. The closet once again bursts open, pulling at Robbie and Carol Ann. The clown doll comes to life, attacking Robbie. Diane is flung around her bedroom, dragged across the ceiling. Outside, coffins and corpses erupt from the muddy ground. The neighborhood was built on an old cemetery, and instead of moving the bodies, the developers only relocated the headstones. The Freelings' home was built on restless graves. Diane fights her way free, saving Robbie and Carol Ann from the closet's pull. Steve returns home to chaos, realizing the horrifying truth. With Dana screaming outside, they all flee as the house begins to collapse in on itself. In a final act of destruction, the house implodes, folding into nothingness, leaving behind only the empty lot. The family escapes, battered but alive, checking into a hotel. In one last moment of weary defiance, Steve rolls the television set out of their room, determined never to see static again. Poltergeist is a chilling reminder that even the most ordinary suburban dream can hide unspeakable nightmares beneath its surface. A story where family love proves stronger than any haunting, yet leaves behind the unsettling question: how safe is home when the past refuses to rest? That was Poltergeist. If you enjoyed this narration, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations. More classic horror retellings are coming all October long, and you don't want to miss them.